I hope I wasn't live. My mama gonna kill me. I ain't doing the little morning thing. Hey Nina, was I live? Rachel, did y'all hear me talking to my mom? She gonna kill me. My mama gonna kill me. How y'all doing? I threw on some lipstick, but I ain't putting on the makeups. Don't you hate it when you put a bonnet on at night and you get this line? Huh? Don't you hate it? So I'm gonna do some pop-up Zooms, pop-up lives, just to test out this YouTube thing again, because everybody keeps telling me I need to return to the tube. But I have found it to be difficult. So we're just gonna see. Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Y'all know I don't say good morning. I'm not mourning the day. We're not mourning the day. We're not gonna do that. Yeah, I just came upstairs to my home office in the library, in the biblioteca. And I want to talk to y'all about a few things. I know I hate bonnet forehead liners. Like, how do we get rid of that? Now I'm gonna have this for the lines. I know what you mean. I'm gonna have that for the rest of the day, Francis. I'm so annoyed. So yeah, I've been getting these top 5 questions, and I'm just gonna go ahead and answer them today. And you know what, y'all like it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's cool with me. We all know I say what I say, and it's the thing I do. Hold on, let me add the StreamYard link. So if you want to come in and talk with me, feel free to do so. All right, show please. Muy bien. So a couple things, and no, I didn't do my little full music thing and all that. I'm gonna get the hang of this YouTube thing. But if y'all want me to continue going live, hey, from Miss Tina from Colorado Springs. What's the weather like there? Good morning. No, I don't like saying that. Grand Rising. Happy Tuesday. Yes, Tracy Chappelle. How you doing, girl? So I didn't do a Zoom yesterday with my Crawl Before You Ball students because of the holiday, and we didn't really observe. We just had a mini 3-day weekend at the house, but and we needed the break. But I will be back for my Crawl Before You Ball students this week, and I'll post in our on our community board some stuff for y'all. I got some good stuff coming up. Ooh, I just realized I didn't put my wedding ring on. Do y'all fingers swell up at night? We have to take your rings off? Because mine do. Yes, please hit likes, Miss Dre. I appreciate you. Do all the stuff y'all do with the YouTube so I can see why it's worth doing the YouTube every day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm also live on Facebook. I figured out how to connect that. Ooh, old people figuring out stuff. And so, you know, do your thing. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Do your thing. All right. Hey, Lalani. All right. So a couple things. I'm going to do some pop-up lives. Why is my hair getting on my nerves? Y'all know this is a nervous thing I do, right? With my hair. So don't judge me. Okay. So here we go. A couple things. And I'm just going to say it. And then if you wants to come through and say something later, we're going to have a question and answer period. It's totally fine. Top things that I've been asked about recently. All about the tea. So I'm going to say this and then it's going to be done with it. Well, you know, whatever. If I feel like talking about it again, I'll talk about it again because I was grown. I am saddened that all that stuff happened. And I know it's old news now. Thank goodness. I hope everybody moves on and thrives and does well. Y'all need to stop with this surviving the avatar and cancel the avatar crap. For me personally, my experience with Monica has not been bad. And I don't feel like people who are in business, because let's remember, that's a business for her, who are strategic and run their business like you're supposed to run a business is a bad thing. See, when men are called strategic, when people of other races are called strategic, nobody, you know, it's not a problem. But when a black woman or black avatar, as it were, is strategic, then it's a problem. And quite honestly, y'all, let me just tell you, I thought because of my involvement in relationship and the time I've known Monica, I really thought that this big thing was like not real. I thought it was maybe her telling those co-hosts, do this and then it'll blow up y'all's pages, and then y'all go on and thrive on your own pages, because that's the Monica I know. The Monica I know is the Monica that keeps telling me, you need to go on YouTube. You're quick-witted, you've got great stuff to content, you've got art equipment already, you need to do it and grow your page. That's the Monica I know. If Monica had the spirit of I don't want any competition, why would she be texting me all the time talking about, I ain't seen you on YouTube in weeks, you need to be doing YouTube? Not saying come on my page, saying do it on your own page, trying to give me ideas. And those people on that panel can't tell me that that probably was not their experience at some point with her. And if it wasn't, you didn't notice it, because I have been one of those people who put people on and they don't realize you're putting them on. They don't realize when you talk about a certain lipstick color. They don't realize when you ask them specific questions that you've taken hours to plan that are in their niche, that you're putting them on. And I really wish they would go back and kind of look at all that stuff and realize that sometimes it ain't what it's about. But again, I wish everybody the best. I really hate that that devolved into that situation, because I thought it was a great panel. I love that she was putting on, in my opinion, virtually unknowns who now have monetized their YouTube pages and are getting tens of thousands of views. And that's great. That's all she ever wanted for y'all anyway, whether you realize it or not. So, I think we need to sometimes not go to the scandal and hoping that stuff is salacious and negative, when most of the time it ain't about what we think it's about. Okay. If somebody felt they were disrespected, sorry, didn't mean to do that, but it ain't as deep as you think it is. I'm just saying. I know people say I'm treated different or better than the evening panel. Well, I was a guest. I should have been treated differently. I brought my own audience with me, and I was not compensated, nor did I need to be. See, this is where you need to learn about business, children. And I'm just going to say this, and you can be mad with me if you want. I don't deem myself a celebrity. I deem myself an entrepreneur. So when you have entrepreneurs and celebrities like Monique Samuels, who is a celebrity, and countless others come on your panel, and they're not compensated, they should be treated differently, because we're giving up our time, which we usually charge people a lot of money for free, to help with your platform. But what's ingenious about what Monica does is she ensures that she elevates our platform while we're there as well. Okay. But see, because we've been in business, we recognize that. So we didn't need a payment. Monique Samuels has said many times when she put her talked about Mila Eve, she sold out. You know what I'm saying? She don't have to do that. But she understands quid pro quo in business. And it does exist. And don't let that Trump stuff screw y'all up and make y'all think that it's a negative thing. That's how business works. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Period. And ain't nothing wrong with being a strategic networker. There are a lot of people who do that for a living. They monetize who they know. Those are gatekeepers. This is me just giving y'all some friendly advice. And I will say, again, I can't say specifically what those people on that panel, their relationship was, but I'm just saying, I'll say this. Mine was never that way. And I need y'all to quit saying that the people, the celebrities or entrepreneurs like myself are treated differently, because we were, and we were supposed to be, because we were guests. We were not in her employ or contractors. And so you treat guests differently. And I would hope that she wasn't treating the night panel poorly. I just don't see how. I would hope she wasn't doing that. And yes, they grew her channel, but she also grew their notoriety. Right? Quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Everybody wins. So anyway, enough of that. I wish everybody on the panel and Monica the best. I see everybody's thriving. In the end, that's all we want for folk, That's all we want. And so, all this other stuff where they're saying that links didn't work and all that. Your name was on the screen. If somebody wanted to find you, they would find you. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let's see. All right. Next thing I'm gonna talk about. People keep asking me about Contessa and Married to Medicine. So let me tell you about Contessa. I really didn't have a problem with Contessa. I actually liked Contessa when I was on that show Down to the Medicine. I think she's a beautiful woman who is very career driven. She had to change her career with being in the military because her husband was tired of traveling, and she did that for her marriage and for her family. And she's resented that since then. And no, I've heard that she's not board certified, and so she pivoted into a different career, which is reality TV, which quite honestly pays more than medical profession for most people. And she's smart. I mean, when I was around her, she was showing me her grades. She's getting straight A's, when she went out to school. I only had a grievance with her because of the way she handled me and my situation. But, hindsight, now I get it. She was told that I was the big bad drama queen wolf. And so, was not deserving of kindness. And so what makes sense to me is when she was in pain, when I was still on that show on Married to Medicine, Down to the Medicine, and we were in Mexico and she was crying at the table, and none of her girlfriends walked away with her because all the cameras were still on the table. I got up because I didn't care about camera time. And but this little light of mine stole it, honey. But anyway, I ran to her and let her cry and let her tell me about her problems with her husband. And I asked her to tell him about himself. And she said, and I'll never forget this, I don't want any trouble. And I was frightened by that. That sounds like somebody who has just been beaten down to where they just don't feel like their feelings matter. And so to hear and to see these clips that y'all have been sending me, because I'm not watching this season. And you know what? Let me just be honest. I hate it because I used to really like Married to Medicine. But it's kind of like working at a fast food restaurant that you like and they never been able to eat there again because you see how the secret sauce is made. I don't feel like Contessa has mean girl vibes. I think she does now because when you're around a whole bunch of evil broads, either you take on that persona or you're the outcast. I was an outcast. And so the way to survive and to keep making that money is you got to bow down and kiss the ring of the elder OBGYN and the other star of the show who is a dentist. If you don't do that, you out, period. If you don't do that, you out, period. So you're looking at a woman who is concerned, and Mabel, hey girl, I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. You look at a woman who is about to lose, if she divorces him, Scott, that income, well, her husband. She's got 3 beautiful children. She lives probably 5 miles away from me. She the only one that live in Buckhead. Catch. She the only other one that live in 30327. The rest of them live way out. They don't live in no damn Buckhead, child. She does. And so she's being smart. Either I'm going to do this thing on this show so I can pay these bills, or I'm going to continue putting up with this man. And let's just be honest, a lot of women have that to deal with. That's just real. That's not fake. And I'll give y'all some tea. I remember when Sylvia, my house manager, who doesn't live with me anymore and who's moved on and is in love. I'm very happy for her. But she had come home at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I would shade her the next day, right? And it'd be like, oh, I saw you, I heard you tipping in. And she was like, well, I saw Dr. Contessa's husband last night at the club. And he saw me and I said, hi, Dr. Scott. And he was not happy. And I was like, I'm sure he wasn't, because he should have been home with his wife and his children, unless his wife was with him. But y'all ain't never hear me say any of that on the show because, you know, it wasn't messy. But now that we're talking about his infidelity, now that it's out in the open, yeah, honey, we've all known about this. And I'm just saying, Contessa, a beautiful woman. She can't dress worth a crap. I mean, neither can I. I had to get helpers. So she need to get different helpers. But she's a beautiful girl. I get why those producers want her to be the star of the show. And so they saw that, you know, I got a little sympathy. So come, let's play the sympathy storyline this year. And, you know, and she was smart and said, okay, I'm going to be open and honest and let this play out on television so I can get a check. Can't be mad at her. That's what the rest of them do. The elder OBGYN ain't never had no story. She ain't no darn good person. This whole narrative that she's Jesus of Nazareth is hilarious. The only time she had good seasons was when her husband cheated on her. And he did that. And when I called her out on her fraud. Other than that, what does she offer other than credibility for the producers and the network? Because if they don't have an elder OBGYN or a younger OBGYN, the show is just housewives who are married to doctors. So them two ain't never going nowhere, no matter what happens. Okay? All right, I'm going to let Mabel talk. Hold on. Hey, Mabel.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I actually took this week off. The whole week. Can you believe
good
it?
For you.
So yeah, so I said I'm gonna test some going live pop-ups on the YouTube, since you keep telling me you miss me on YouTube and everybody else, and see what happens. See if I can do it and I can maintain it if I like it. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're doing well in the course. I'm proud of you and your homework assignments.
Okay, so thank you. So that's what I'm going to talk about real quick.
I know I couldn't do it last night.
No, that's fine. I feel like you really pushing stuff, Buffy. Now you want me to do a post? Okay, Buffy. Okay, I love you. I love you. You lucky. I love you, and I'm doing this. I played it for my daughter, and she was like, she said, she just keep pushing you to your limits. I said, I said, and I'm guessing there's more to come after this.
There is, but I'm gonna tell you this. And so Mabel's one of my students in my Crawl Before You Ball digital course. And every Monday, sans like this Monday, we have a Zoom with a live Zoom, come to Jesus moment, wellness check, review. Everybody asks us questions, and we talk about various topics in the course. And so my students, I told her from the beginning, I'm Willy Wonka. Did I not, Mabel?
You did.
I warned y'all. I said I'm Willy Wonka. Y'all didn't believe me. And I said these assignments are gonna seem easy. And they're not. Did I not?
Oh, you forewarned everybody when they started.
I did. And I said,
and you say it every time we have a Zoom.
I do, because I need to make sure y'all understand. So Mabel, which assignment has been the most difficult for you? And then I'm gonna get back to this tea.
What had happened was
explain to them what happened was assignment is.
So you have to explain what had happened to get you to the place you're at.
Financially.
Okay? Financially, nothing else, because although everything goes hand in hand,
it does,
especially your mental health.
Right.
So I made the comment, first of all, I cried the whole time I was making it, like a little crybaby. But that's okay. Right. But I made the comment that what I said, I had never spoken out loud. I had never told that truth to anyone, to no one. So I thought I was being cute, Buffy, when I sent it to you. And I had tried to send it to my daughter and I thought it didn't go through. She's the one that makes the little messages with me. She's the one that I'm, financially responsible for now. And she
Yeah.
heard what I said and she said she didn't know that.
Mm.
So it's a lot about being able to speak your truth and you said let it go. Don't the guilt
Quit
eats me
blaming
up.
yourself. Quit blaming
The
yourself.
Yeah, the guilt was eating me up. And I have to say this month we're doing really, really, really good. No fast food.
Yay! I think
We're
it's
buying,
great.
instead of spending the money on fast food, we buy groceries to make things. And that also gives us time to spend together. It's just relearning stuff. But she's young enough because she's 16 that I'm showing her, okay, these are the steps you need to take. So it's
Right.
not just me that's getting the class because she listens to everything. She reads everything. She's right there with me.
What I
So,
say, you gotta have a come to Jesus moment with the family, and everybody that you are
oh, yeah.
financially responsible for has to sign on for Crawl Before You Ball for it to work. And children will be the number one reason that you fall off and falter from your financial goals. But
Yeah.
at any age, I feel like at some degree they can understand we want to do X, Y, and Z, and this is how this benefits you and the family, right?
Yep. And she's very on board with it. And it's funny because I'm not gonna lie, sitting here last night talking about, well, I deserve. She said, well. She's like, isn't that one of those words? I'm like, oh. So she's good about it. She's keeping me in line. She's helping me make sure that if we do have to purchase something, it's because we really have to get it. It's not
It's a
because
need, not a want,
right,
honey.
it's a need, not a want. And I think that's important. And I tell people all the time, it's funny. I see my friends, like I have a friend, and I was going to tell you, I was going to email you. I have a friend. She can't pay her rent right now, hardly. I'm just going to say that. But she's looking at houses. And I
No,
said to her, what are you doing? I said,
yeah.
you need to be able to afford rents, get that situated, and it kind of makes me look at things differently now. And
Mhm.
also, that was the hardest lesson for me. But what we really wanted, I don't want a house. I've never
Good.
wanted a house.
I'm so
I've
happy that you
never.
said that. I'm so happy that you have realized what it is that Mabel wants, not what
Oh yeah,
society says you should have. What
society,
you
society
want.
day. Yes,
Society, you're right. I use my little jargon with my students, but you're right. Society says you should have X, Y, and Z. But if you
yep,
don't want that, then don't worry about it. If you cool
yeah.
with paying rent and having your landlord have to fix stuff when it break, do you, honey? There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. As long as you're saving,
Which
as long as
and
you're
see,
investing.
and this is the first month I've been able to save. Like I told you, my income is I make less than $500 a month because I've lost my job. But
Mm-hmm.
I budget. I've always been good about budgeting. But that extra money, I'd be like, Burger King sound good today. I would do stuff that I don't need it. I literally have a freezer and a refrigerator full of food.
Yep.
So I've had to relearn that. Which in turn helped my daughter. She's like, what are you thinking about? I said, I'm thinking about ordering some. She said, we got food in the refrigerator.
Food at
She's like,
home. We got
yeah,
food
she's like,
at
what do
home.
you want? We
We
can
got
figure this
food
out.
at home.
So for anybody that's listening, if you have it, the class is, first of all, you can do it at your own pace. And that's,
Yeah.
to me, that's the beauty of it. Because that first thing you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, what happened, it might take you a minute. It might take you a minute. And I tell my daughter all the time when we get ready for Zooms, I got my tissue. I'm ready for my crying moment. And it's not crying because I'm sad. It's crying because you know what? I never realized how many other people are
The
experiencing the same
same.
thing I'm.
We have hundreds of people in our Zooms, and everybody, regardless of their socioeconomic status, we got
Yep.
doctors, lawyers, we got
Yes.
we got folks, the cashiers at the grocery store.
Yes.
Everybody's saying the same stuff.
And very supportive. I've realized that everyone in there is very supportive. I made a comment about I felt like my what I wanted was so simple, and someone said it's not simple. It's just you realize that that's really all you wanted. She
Yep.
said you're simple. She said you simply don't want what everyone else wants, and it's crazy
Right.
because when I told my daughter, because she heard me say, she's like, I said, now look, I'm about to make my thing. I said, you're gonna hear me say something, and I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, because she thought I always wanted a house too. I really don't.
I'm so
Maybe,
proud of
you
Mabel.
know, I love the class. I'm sorry, y'all. I know we're supposed to be talking about Contessa and all the other crap that's going on. I'm going to say this real quick about Contessa. She's unhappy. I don't care what anybody says. That's unhappiness. I've been that girl. I've been that bitch. I've been whatever you want to call her. She's unhappy. And when you start to stay for reasons, financially or otherwise, it's only going to get worse. Yes, she would struggle. Maybe she would have other things to do, but she needs to be happy because your children, and I speak from experience, your children soak in everything they see and or hear. And sometimes you don't think they see it and hear it, but they do.
Yep.
They do. And
Yep.
they're young enough that they're like little sponges.
Yep.
You know, they're little
Emulate that in
sponges.
their life, and you don't want them to do that. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that he can't be in their life. That doesn't mean he can't spend time with them. And I think that might be a big issue for her because she
Probably.
didn't have her dad. You know, her dad was doing what he was doing. He was doing him.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's where a lot of it comes from because I see that as I would feel the same way. You know what? I was lucky. I had my mom and my dad. My children were not lucky, but you know what? The dads always showed up when they needed to.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that just because a man or woman, whatever you choose to do with your personal life, doesn't mean that you're happy. You need someone who's going to support you high, low, otherwise, and all that. And I think some people forget that. They just want someone there.
And
I'm to
some
the point
people
now where I don't want that no more.
Yeah, some people also just want the picture of what society says you're supposed to have.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely what it is. That's definitely. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
not about. Yeah.
I think if Contessa was to be honest with herself, I don't really think she wants a lot of what she has.
Mm-mm.
Because money doesn't make you happy, cars don't make you happy, homes don't make you happy.
No.
And I think sometimes and I speak for everyone, I'm speaking for everyone in general now, we have listened to people, our parents have told us, our friends have told, I don't need those things. You know what? I know how to get on a bus, take a lift. I know how to get my groceries delivered if I don't want to go grocery shopping. I've learned ways to do things and be like, I don't like driving. I hate it. It was in a bad car accident. I had a car and I realized I don't want this car.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. I've learned to be okay with making changes and people looking at me sideways, but I'm still happy and I'm crawling. Like you said, crawling before you're balling. I'm feeling better. I'm lighter. I'm sleeping. I'm not stressed out about money. And that's a big issue. And I think another thing that you need to let people know, Buffy, about the program is you talk about how it affects your mental health. I don't think people look at stuff like that.
No,
they don't look at stuff like that.
Norman and Dave Scamsey books and going to all these courses, and they're telling you don't go to Starbucks, and that's supposed to fix your finances, and it doesn't. We got to look at why we do things that we do. You got to deal with the deep down, murky, ugly, nasty. Why am I cash apping my cousin $20 every morning for fuel? Why am I
when they got a whole job?
When they got a whole job, or I see her next week with fresh braids and I look a mess. Like you got to delve into that financial trauma, that familial trauma and PTSD, where we were taught that if you have, everybody in your family has, and that is not healthy.
That is not the case.
I ain't trying to.
What's mine is mine, boo.
For nobody. We ain't being no paymaster. We done paymaster.
I'm tired. I'm like, bye. See you later. I hope you're able to pay that phone bill. Have a great day.
Yeah, just say no. No is a complete sentence and move on. Well, Prince has been waiting. I ain't talked to her in a minute.
Okay, tell her I said hi. I love you. I gotta get ready to go to work.
I saw that she missed you. All right, see you later.
I love you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Mabel. Oh, Princess Glera, how you doing with them juicy lips? Got you some lip gloss popping today.
I'm wearing your Bella lip gloss. I've been meaning to send you some. Yeah, I've been meaning to send you some. I'm going to send you a box when I get the new colors together. I'm putting them in a box.
I need to send you some stuff. I owe you glasses.
What? Somebody called me.
Oh, I heard an echo. I said I owe you glasses. Oh, you got the lenses in today? Green eyes.
I done broke the glasses. That's why I said I was going to get some frames so I could get them put in.
No, I got your glasses. I got 2 pair for you, actually. So I'm going to send them. I need to get you address long time ago. I'm going to get it together. What you cussing me out about? What's up? What's the tea?
I'm not going to cuss you out today. I'm excited. I'm late into the program, but I'm excited to get in the program. I do want to thank you for the advice that you gave me last time we had a good chit chat. Because I think I texted you, I'm being audited right now.
By the IRS?
Just the banks. The banks, they saying where your money coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wait it on out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, them folks, they've been fraud and PPP and everything. And so
yeah, I told you that mess was coming.
they said, "Oh, you're black. Okay, let's see what you're doing over here."
Right,
So
but you got
I have to wait it out. But if I hadn't listened to you and started moving around money and
what you mean moving money around? What you mean?
You told me to make my business account separate and a separate
That's right, from your personal. Yeah, I just want you to clean it up so people don't think it's nothing shady. That's all. You know how these folks in these YouTube
they
be trying to make some stuff some shady. No, we said we don't commingle funds. Business is business and personal is personal. And then they can't do nothing to you. Then you can do whatever you want in your personal account, honey.
So at least I started that. I didn't finish the whole process, but if I hadn't listened, I'd probably been in more financial trouble than what I am now. And I don't feel like I'm in trouble. I feel I'm in limbo until they get their little paperwork straight. So it also makes me think I haven't spent any of the money that I've been making as much as possible other than reinvesting in product or whatever. And so it's been,
you know what I mean? I'm so happy to hear that. Reinvesting in my products. Yeah. Yes, entrepreneur.
It's just been sitting there. And so I'm happy for that. This is the first time in my life where I feel anywhere near feeling comfortable. I'm definitely not where I want to be. I'm definitely not at the financial status I say I need to be at. And I think about when you say, save for 2 years and have 2 years worth of your lifestyle. So I'm like, okay, I was thinking about it the other day. I said, I need no less than 20 bands in the bank in the next year and a half.
You can do it. You can.
And I come from, I come in and work in those 2 and 3 jobs at a time just to try to keep myself just here. You know what I'm saying? Keep him, and I don't never want to go back to that. I don't never want to be uncomfortable in that part where I got to rob Peter to pay Paul. One thing I'm good at is not borrowing.
Right.
And I don't loan out what I can't afford to give away. Yeah. And most times I can't afford to give you nothing.
Yeah, but even when you can, don't. But let me tell you something about crawling before we ball. We need to get out of the mindset that leveraging cheap debt is bad, meaning borrowing money at a cheap interest rate is bad, because it's not. Wealthy people never use their own money. They always use somebody else's money at a low interest rate. And so once we get all this other stuff figured out, our 2 years of what it costs us to be saved, put up in a high yield savings account, paying us no less than 0.50 APY a year, we don't want to touch our money. Once we clean up our credit, if it needs cleaning, you may have stellar credit, I don't know. But once it's where we need it, we're going to start using their money. We didn't use our money.
I had bad credit, and I feel good about getting my credit in order. Good. And building that credit score. But when I said borrowing, I meant like, cousin Lulu and them. When I borrowed $20 and all that.
Yeah, don't borrow from cousin Lulu and don't loan cousin Lulu, because it ain't no loan, honey. It's you gave it away.
That's what I said. I don't put out more than I can give away, and I can't afford to give you nothing.
I told my family I need to buy a gas station. Much gas I done paid for over the years. Ooh, y'all delete Cash App. It's gonna be the death of you. I tell all my students, delete Cash App. So when they ask you, just be like, I don't have it. Then you ain't gotta lie.
I'm glad don't nobody be asking me, because they know now. No, no man, no plan. And I'm gonna say one thing about that other situation, because I even saw it in my chats last night.
Go ahead.
Look, and I'm gonna say it over and over again. Everybody has their own experience, okay? And people can support who the hell they want to support. And they ask me, don't ask me about Buffy's business, because I don't know nothing about what Buffy doing with her business. You want to ask me something about me? Ask me. If you got questions, go straight to the source, but it's really not your business either. Let people live and do what they're supposed to do. If you got an air of positivity in your soul, then you move on. That's it. Move on. We got other shit to do and other ways to make money. Okay, that is the focus. Get your house in order and get you a bag. And I'm not talking about Louis and Prada.
Louis and Prada.
Get you some money and let's live. And because I'm excited about traveling and doing other things, and I'll be done with school in 3 months. Whole new career. And that's another bag. And they look, I got somebody that's gonna front me equipment so that I can rent it out, or I could go do shows and setups or whatever. So that's ways somebody's pouring into my other business, so that I can start getting money and I can start getting my own equipment in order to do things. So
I'm happy for you. And you're grown. That's grown woman's ish you talking about right there, honey. That's grown, right? That's grown. And I appreciate your positive vibes, and you will be getting your package, honey, because it's long overdue. And I appreciate your spirit of patience with me.
Busy. Somebody patient with me. Somebody, thinks about me. So we all have to be mindful of one another.
All right. Well, you enjoy your day, beautiful.
All
right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hola. The screen ain't up. I was trying to bring in, speak with, I can't see the whole thing. Booth Davis. Hey. You going in and out. I'm going to give you a few seconds to, you might want to call me back. I can't see you. Yeah, I'm going to have to let you go. Come back when you're ready. So yeah, back on the course. It's been, I wrote the book Crawl Before You Ball 15 years ago, and I've had to revise it over the years. And I only did it for my clients, meaning I never would agree to sell it, because I don't believe that you just reading about learning how to change your relationship with money is enough. That's why I grade every assignment. It takes a little, my students would tell you, you may turn in an assignment, you can't move on in the course, and it may be 3 days before you hear back from me, because I'm not doling it out to other people. I grade every assignment. I make comments on it. I'm on every Zoom with my husband. We do financial meditation. It's a totally different way of looking at changing your relationship with money. Because y'all know 1 + 1 = 2. And if something costs $4, you can't afford it. But I go through in my course, why do you beg, borrow, and steal for that other $2 to get that $4 item? Knowing good and damn well you don't have enough money for it. And that's what I think all these other financial experts have missed in their education of financial literacy. You have to deal with the mental health aspects of it. When you grew up watching your mom and dad, robbing Peter to pay Paul, then you went on in your life as an adult, you think that's normal. You think that regular people every day struggling and worrying and stressing about money, and that is not normal. It shouldn't be normal. There are some things you can do in your life so that that's not your story. That don't need to be your E True Hollywood story, to be chronically stressed and getting heart disease and diabetes and all these diseases because you're so darn stressed out about a darn coin. The things that you may have to do may not be fun, but they're for a time. That's why you crawl before you ball. It's a metaphor. We got to get comfortable with the crawling time. You got to be, yay, DJ Richie, you joined. I'm so excited. You got to let me know how you're loving it. You got to crawl. You got to be okay with crawling for a while. What I found with a lot of my students is it's not your issues. It's the issues of being an ATM machine for the family. It's the issue of being an ATM machine for your friends. It's the taking care of your partner. And one of the things that the first things you have to do in the course is you must Have a come to Jesus moment with everybody in your household, everybody under your roof. Because if you don't, you won't succeed. Everybody has to be on board. Crawl before you ball is hard. And it's not for the faint of hearts. It's not about just math. My approach to financial literacy is less about budgeting and more about your financial mental health. The why. The way you need to learn to not be reactive when a financial stressor comes up. When you're experiencing financial anxiety and you get some unexpected bill, your tires blow out on your car or your engine's messed up, you got to put something in. No, it's not too late to join the course. It's self-paced. And every Zoom that we do every week, I pin to our community board, which is the heart and soul of my course. And where we all support each other and post questions and support for one another while we undergo this process. And I don't put a time limit on how long my students have access to the course, which also means you don't get a time limit on how long you have access to me, my husband, and my friends who teach about credit, who teach about investing. And I'm not bringing y'all just somebody. When we get to the level where a certain percentage of my students have progressed to about 70% of their class, I'm going to bring on the former head of Primerica, who was over the broker-dealer investing group. I'm going to bring on the former CEO of Primerica, who was my boss when I was in college because I was a licensed health insurance, life insurance, property and casualty agent. I'm going to bring him on to teach all about investing. A funny story about him is when he retired from Primerica, he opened up his own investment firm. And guess who he hired to be his business manager? Me and my firm. And we still work with him. And his name is Bob Van Zandt, if you want to Google him. He's big time. And I'm going to bring folk like that on for my students on these Zooms to teach them about investing. And my good friend from high school, Brian Ponder Esquire, who has helped many of my celebrity clients and politicians and professional athletes fix their credits. See, just because you wake up with money one day doesn't mean you know what to do with it. Them Kardashians and all them people, you always hear them say, well, I got to talk to my business manager. That's what I did for a living for 20 years. I was a business manager for these people. I was the person that kept their budget for them. I was the person that said, you can only spend this much money on your Amex a day or it's going to swipe and decline, so that they could then have some money later in their life. And it was always my hope and dream to offer the same advice that I offer to those people that I charge $5,000 and $10,000 a month to the masses. And I figured it out in this affordable e-course. And I'm still able to give of myself once a week via our 1 hour, sometimes an hour and a half Zooms. And some people ask, do you mentor, Buffy? Yeah, I mentor every day on social media, except for my clapbacks. Most of the time I'm mentoring. There's always a lesson in what I'm saying. It's either crawl before you ball, some life lesson, it's some positivity, it's some, meditation, it's some mindfulness, it's some marriage, but I wrap it up in cute little bites. And that's the way I found like that I can, mentor the masses. All right, let me look at this stuff. My grandson wants to use his credit to rate his credit score. I mean, yeah, you need to use credit, but join the course, child, because Brian is gonna give y'all all kind of stuff. I was like, you giving all this stuff, and he is. It's gonna be fantastic, and he's gonna come on in the next couple of weeks. Oh wait, here we go. Linda Ford. I was an ATM where I was supporting a whole lot of people in my family in Poland. I went without to support them. I learned the hard way. I worked so hard and never reaped the benefits. And so one of the things that I talk to people about with family is, you enable them when you bail them out every time. You're not helping them. And in the course, I share snippets, little pages from the book Crawl Before You Ball, where I'm very open and honest about my past. I was a paymaster for men. I was a paymaster for my family members. I had financial guilt for having been so successful early on. You know, I was 19 and had my first home built whilst in college, and had 3 side hustles, was working for the family business and in college full time. And you know, I felt like because I didn't have a husband or children, that it was my duty to bail out people in my family every time they called me and said their phone was going to be turned off or their power was going to be off. And it's not your duty. Because when some real stuff pop off, if you're constantly paying this little stuff that adds up, there's going to be nobody in the family with any money to do anything. And y'all know what I mean by real stuff. Because paying your phone bill ain't real. You'll be all right if your phone cut off for a minute. I bet you'll do what you need to do to not have that happen again. But when you pay that for them, you enable them to use the money that they should have allocated for their phone bill on some tomfoolery. When your brother says, oh, I was looking at a motorcycle, and then pulls it up on his phone to show you pictures of it, look away. Say, I'm not interested. And use my mama's quote, you can do whatever your finances dictate that you can do. Leave my finances out of that equation. Because what your brother's doing is he's setting you up for the okie doke. If you look and say, oh, yeah, that's nice, then he can say later, well, you said I should get it. You said it was a good investment. You said I should get it. So when he can't afford the note, or when something go wrong with it, you're going to be the first person he called to fix it, help him fix it. Right? Now, there is a toll that comes from saying no. Fewer people going to invite you to the cookouts. Fewer people going to invite you to the weddings. Fewer people are going to call you. Folk gonna run their mouth and say, you done changed. You ain't helping nobody. You are helping them. You're helping them to figure stuff out for themselves in their own life. We all grown. And don't let the little ones fool you either. Your nieces and nephews will get you every time, because a lot of times when they asking you to cash out them some money, it's for their mama or their daddy. Hello. You can put up for them nieces and nephews if you want to in a UNES custodial UTMA account. That's what you do. Go to my website and click on the link. You said that's how I did for my nephews. I put money up for them so that when they got ready, they graduated from high school. If they wanted to go to college, they could use the money for college. If they didn't want to go to college, they could use the money to start a business, buy a car, buy their first house, whatever they want to do with it. See, and that also teaches them about saving and the power of compound interest and investing. They learn by example. I have a nephew who has now saved $18,000. Before my husband and I and my parents matched it, he said we told our nephews when they were in the 9th grade, respectively in age, if you save your money from working, when you graduate from high school, we will match it. That young man at the time he graduated had $16,000. He now has $18,000. Well, actually he has more than that because we matched it and my parents matched it. And you know what he's thinking about doing that money? When this crazy housing market calms down, when the inevitable foreclosures come, because they are coming, because, and his auntie has told him this, because these forbearances are ending. Most people in it, there's a very large percentage, I think it's 20% of people who have mortgages in America right now have not paid their mortgage for the past 3 months. And these forbearances are about to end, which means foreclosures are going to come, which means it's going to be a crash again, like in 2008. And these properties are going to be available at low prices if all the investors don't buy them up. But I think it's going to be so much inventory that they ain't going to be able to buy them all up. This young man is going to get him some properties. Start with one, a duplex. He live on one side with one of his cousins who pays part of the bills, and they rent the other side out. That's how you build generational wealth, through teaching and leading by example, not buying them the latest Jordans. And I'm not saying that kids don't deserve to have nice stuff. Trust me, I have spoiled my nephews also, but they need to earn it. There's a very interesting story about my nephew Aiden in the course. and in my book about when we used to give him money and he went to the store one time and my sister and I knew he didn't have any money on his card and he was, I think, 8 or 9 years old. We let it play out. He loaded everything on the conveyor belt, swiped his card, asked for $20 cash back, and it declined. And we made him take everything back. And people in the line behind us were like, that's so mean. No, it's not. I'd rather him have that happen with us when he's 8 or 9 than when he's 20 or worse, 30. Right? It's time for us to stop blaming everybody else because we ain't got no money. Because we all make money every day. Even those of us who would say that they are underpaid. And I'm not about shaming folk. What I'm about is giving you solutions. And you can choose to take my advice or not. But if you really want to make meaningful change, you're going to have to do some hard, deep work. Get in the muck and figure out why at Thanksgiving every year you go to Black Friday and buy this stuff that you know that isn't really marked down. They just tell you it's marked down, right? You force your brain to believe that you need these items and you don't. Really what we need in this world, very simple. A roof over our head, some water and some food to eat, some clothing on our back. You don't really need a lot to survive and thrive. And if you stop allowing society to tell you what you're supposed to have, you'll have a stress-free life. You know, I love the people who say, well, when you get in a new car, well, when you paying for it? That should be your response. You know, the people that's always in your pocket, they see you got a raise or they heard or they know you coming up. And so they think that your life should match that. No, don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the okie doke. I always use these super uber wealthy people as examples. You know, there are wealthy people. Like I live across the street from a family of billionaires. Them mugs drive Toyotas and Camrys and Forerunners circa 2002. I don't see no Bentleys. They ain't driving that shit. They're not. Yeah, they got a helicopter, but they need that because of the stuff they own. And they can't deal with this Atlanta traffic to get where they need to get. But their regular vehicles, they ain't got all that mess. They don't got all that mess. Because they don't listen to what society tells them they're supposed to have. And really, that's a setup, Louis and Prada. You're trying my patience. That's a setup to keep you broke. That's a setup to keep you in debt. That's a setup to keep you having to borrow at high interest. Right? So I hope that I'm gonna have to go. My children acting up. I hope Nicole, so you can be rich and have a Bentley. Or you can have a Bentley and be broke. But yes, there are wealthy people with cars like that. You know, if they're collecting them as antiques, or if they just want to have it, that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you, the average super wealthy person ain't doing all that. The average super wealthy person ain't doing all that. They're not. They don't want to drive their assets. They want to see their assets in their brokerage accounts growing. When I taught my nephews about compound interest and they learned the fact that you can make money by not touching it, it was a wrap. You can make money in your sleep by just leaving it somewhere. That's what wealthy people enjoy. That's what they get off on, not having to work and having passive income. And again, I say crawl before you ball, not crawl and never ball. You just need a budget for your balling. If you want a Bentley and your finances dictate that you can do so, and you've made sure that you've got enough saved and that's earning you money to pay for that. Like I used to read all those Rich Dad, Poor Dad books. And it's like, if you want something that is not an asset, create some income producing asset to pay for it. So if you want a new car, well, save, buy you a rental property, not in this market, wait, that you make enough positive passive income and profit monthly to pay for that. Just don't use your current money. That's all. Atlanta is funny money. You're correct. You're correct. Yes, I help international subs. I grew up in Europe. I don't know if you're in Europe, maybe in Canada or somewhere, but yes, we do. Louis and Prada. Yep, my poochies. Isn't that funny? I named them like after the crap people waste their money on. Gucci and Chanel, your dogs. Does the program help you if you already have money? Yes, it does. It helps you not give away all your money. And later, when we get in more advanced lessons, it helps you with investing. I'm going to look through some of y'all questions and then I'm going to let y'all go. So I feel like I've been running my mouth. But for real, I hope y'all will look into the course, at least go to the page and read about it. I've been inviting some people to some of our Zooms just so that you can get an idea of what's going on. If you look on my YouTube channel, our first Zoom I did post and it's open for you to look at, but I'm not going to post the others because what is said on the Zoom stays on the Zoom. It's a safe space where we cry, we fuss at each other, we support each other, we give each other great solutions. You know, it's really, in the Caribbean. Child, yes, honey, I have property in Puerto Rico and San Juan. Actually, it's in Guaynabo. My business is there because it's a tax shelters and beautiful island. But yeah, no, it's really become a part of Dave and I love it. And it's cathartic. Buffy, I really did like you. What I don't understand is your support for someone who was openly disrespectful to Pledge subscribers. Well, I'm sorry that you don't like me anymore because I'm friends with somebody who is on the outs with somebody else. I like Pledge. I've never said anything negative about Pledge, nor would I. And I don't know about her subscribers, but I wish everybody the best. So, you know, sad to lose you. I put out good energy always, and I speak my truth. And I think that Princess said it best. My interaction with that person may not be the same as somebody else, and I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And I don't think you can find anywhere where I was disrespectful to Pledge. I think she's brilliant, attorney, smart young lady, beautiful young lady. What I said of all of the panelists is sometimes folks don't see when people are actually trying to help them. That's all. Yeah, I don't get these people who are like, you can't like one person and not like the other. That's some elementary school crap. Sorry, that's just how I feel, love. But again, if you don't like me no more, that's okay. I ain't gonna lose no sleep about it now. Thank you, Audrey. She said, I still love you. You can disagree with me and still love me. That's being grown. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's stuff I disagree with. I didn't like some of the stuff. Princess on here, she know I ain't like some stuff she done said, but I still respect her. She grown. We all have the right to say whatever we want, right? So y'all know that you should be respected more as a guest over panelist. Oh yeah, I didn't say I should be respected more as a. Let me put this up since you keep coming, so I can clarify. And it's i.e. Buffy, you said you should be respected more as a guest over panelist. Maybe you don't hear what you said. Did sound like you felt like you guys deserve more respect than Pledge. That is not what I said. You can, after this is over, you can go back and listen to what I said. I didn't even say Pledge. I said the nighttime panelists. You want to stick on Pledge because you're a Pledge supporter, and that's fine. And I like Pledge. I like all the panelists, including Monica. What I said was, when you're a guest, you should be treated differently than people who work there. And I will not change that at all. I didn't say I should be respected more. What I said was I should be treated differently. One, I'm not being paid. So I'm giving up my time, which is my most valuable asset, to come on someone else's platform to support them. So yes, you should have a bit more gratitude for the guests. Yeah. Dose. I'm a guest. And I'm bringing my own platitude of supporters and people that's, I already had a large social media following, right? A lot of the people on the panel were growing their following. So you can say whatever you want to say, but she did help them come up. And yes, they helped her also grow her subscribers. Quid pro quo. Never did you hear me say I deserve more respect than anybody else. You're not going to put that on me. That is not of my character. You ain't never heard that out my mouth. What I said was you treat guests differently than you do employees. And I stand by what I said because you should, because they're there giving of their time free and willingly. They ain't receiving no check. Everybody deserves respect, but you do need to be a little bit more kind to somebody that's stopping out their schedule and them making their coins to do something free for you. Okay. All right. Next question. Now we're changing it up. I ain't worried. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I've said 8 million times. I like players. I like everybody on the panel. And it looks like everybody's thriving. So let's let that go. I don't know. Everybody, but you know what? People do keep bringing it. I'm trying to drop financial gems and they keep bringing it up. You know what it is? It's the devil. The devil ain't the devil. And not you, darling. I ain't calling you the devil that said it. But it's the spirit of the devil. Now, I done addressed this at the beginning of the live. If you want to keep bringing it up, you ain't going to say nothing crazy about me. Nah. Yeah, that is what it is. It is. And so we're going to go back to our originally scheduled programming. I do have all about the tea in my title because I said I was going to address questions that have been asked of me. I hope you're clear now. All right. Ooh, child. All right. This was one of the things that was in my line also, Contessa. So I'm going to talk about that too, because these are things I said I was going to talk about. So no, I don't think it's an exaggerated storyline. I really do think they have marital problems, and I wish the best for Contessa. I don't know him like that. And I know she's a mother of those 3 beautiful children that are so well raised and good kids. And she's a good mother. And she did me wrong. But, you know, again, I have the spirit of forgiveness in my heart. And I know that if Contessa had ever really tried to authentically meet me and spend some time with me, she wouldn't have done any of that. She had to be in the Mean Girls Club so she could keep her check. And I understand. I get it. Do your job. But I hope that she gets what she deserves. And I mean, a happy marriage, a happy or not a marriage, whatever it is she wants, because seeing somebody chronically that sad and upset and clearly being abused mentally is not the look, and it's wrong. And I hate that for her. You know, this month is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And I hope that Contessa is getting separate counseling besides that mess that they put on TV so she could work on what she wants and what's good for her and not make it all about everybody else, which oftentimes women do. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Do you have advice for late starters for investing? Yes, Mickey Finke. You may not like my answer, but I always say that first, you got to have a minimum of 2 years of what it costs you to be you in a high yield savings account. I like Chime. I like City Financial. Those are the banks that I like. They pay at least 0.50 APY. And, you know, after you have that, then we can start talking about other more complex investing strategies. I just believe that if you haven't taken the time to invest in yourself and your family and your peace of mind, because that's what an emergency fund, a robust emergency fund provides you, peace of mind. Even if you full well know you're never going to touch it, which I don't want y'all to do. Just having it helps alleviate some of this daily financial trauma that we all endure, that shows up in weight gain and anxiety and burnout, and you can't function, you can't sleep. It messes up all aspects of your life, chronically worried about a darn coin. And so, if you just, crawl for a little while and put that money up and forget about it. And another thing is, don't ever attach your savings account to your checking account. Otherwise, all you got is 2 checking accounts, because the banks are smart. What they've done is they've told you to link your savings account to your checking account. So if you have an overdraft, they can just take from your savings. Well, that defeats the purpose. Then you just got two checking accounts. I always say put your savings account somewhere off, far away, where it's like you can't get to it. It's hard to transfer. Don't have no easy transfer. You forget you got it till you get a statement in the mail. That's the best practice. Okay. That's the best practice. Now, if you do have 2 years or more of what it costs you to be you, put away in a high yield savings account, click on the crawlbeforeyouBall.com link, because then I'm going to have Bob Van Sand's going to come on for my students within the beta group of my first students in the first 6 months of the course. But I'm also going to have him come on and do an extra class. Let's see. Thank you for your question. High yield checking or high yield savings account. And I like Chime. And yes, it needs to be separate. Let's see. I am my 70s. Do you think I can invest? I am monetary per month is okay. Is it too late for me? No, it's never too late, Arletta. It's never too late. It is never too late to invest. So I think you're saying that you're okay monetarily every month. And I would imagine that if you're in your 70s, I hope that you have retirement income or an annuity, or you're fine and you're just looking to do something with the money that you currently have. No, I would say don't get into no cryptocurrency, because that ain't nothing but gambling, right? I wouldn't recommend somebody in their 70s to get into cryptocurrency. Don't do that. I would say no to that. Now, some young children has got some coins and saved up some money. It's a different story. They just got to see the full situation. But there are a lot. You could invest in bonds. There's a lots of stuff that you can do that's safe, that will pay enough. For me, like with my parents, what I always told them, and and they listen, thank goodness, is that their investment should pay for their life, right? So they amassed all this savings, because my mama is crazy and my dad is worse with savings. I mean, you call me frugal. They've amassed all these savings and they have them in various investments, and they get enough money every quarter from their investments to pay what it costs to be them every month. So they're still not having to touch their money. They can still reinvest some of their savings if they want to. And they live a great life. They don't have any debt. Houses paid for. When you get in that age, your house probably paid for, cars paid for. If you want a new car, you can get your new car. Whatever it is you want, you budget for it. But I'm all about making passive income, money while you sleep. That's what the truly wealthy do. They ain't out here working. They ain't punching nobody's clock. And who says you need to work somewhere till you're 65 years old? We need to enjoy our lives before now. I retired at 40. Came back to work because I got bored. So I hope I answered your question. But go to the page because it'll come up soon. I don't know about freedom debt. Maybe come on the live and tell me about it, and I can tell you, because I won't shade somebody else's program unless I know about it and don't like it. Like, I don't like Dave Ramsey. I think he's a scam. I think he is not current. I think he builds his business on shaming people who don't have financial literacy education. And the reality is most of us were never taught. They definitely didn't teach us in school about financial literacy. And I have my thoughts about that because, you know, we need a working class. We need people who think that the way to make money is to make money, meaning to go and work somewhere, not make money work for you. See, that's the difference between wealth and working class. Well, working class people work for the money. Wealthy people, the money works for them. And I'm all about bridging that gap into teaching you how to make money work for you. And you may have to continue working for the money until you amass enough of that money to start investing it to make it work for you. So you don't have to work anymore, but it is possible because I've done it for years with clients. Let me see. Oh, Tracy, yay! Tracy joined. Yay! I can't wait to see you on our Zooms. You know I'm gonna call you out, so be ready. Do I think the housing market will crash? It's gonna be worse than 2008. I can't tell you when, but yes, I believe it's gonna crash. If y'all want to come in with a question, here you go. Oh, I see somebody's on. I'll bring them on in 1 second. Well, changing my savings account after this live. Yay, Tony! I'm glad. Can you join the class at any time? Yes, you can join the class at any time. It's a self-led class, like Mabel was saying. So you take your time, and I really encourage my students to take their time because the assignments look easy, but they're not. Like what had happened is the first assignment, and there are some of my students that it's taken them 2 weeks to get it done. And basically they have to film a video and send it to me and explain to me what had happened was my name is Buffy and I did X, Y, and Z. And that is why I'm in the situation now I am with my finances. And you got to do it within 3 minutes. So it's got to be concise and real. And, you know, you can lie when you write something because you can feel like you're writing fiction. But when you record something and then you got to like watch it back and you see yourself lying. This is something one of my students said in a live. She was like, I had to delete it 15 times because I wanted to appear like I had everything going on. And I said, I'm glad that you deleted that because had you sent that to me, I was going to kick you out of the class and refund your money because you don't need me. If you got it all going on, you don't need me. So you need to be real. Plus, one of the things in my class that I'm doing, remember I'm Willy Wonka, is I don't bless my students with just a passing grade. I'm going to bless some people with some bills paid off. Hallelujah. Like we trying out here to change some lives and to help you get to the balling phase. There's some very exciting things that's going to happen with my beta group, which again, you better get in the next, month or so. That's my beta group of students are going to be privy to. I'm going to do a crawl before you ball intervention. And the only people who are going to be invited are the people that invested in me early with my course within the first 2 months of the course. And you're not going to have to pay a dime to come. But there's going to be so many things that you get. I hope none of my students are on right now because they ain't supposed to know that. But anyway, I'm Willy Wonka. I'm like a broke Oprah. I like to give folks stuff back. And what I'm doing is I'm getting some of these companies to pay for it because they need to. Okay. Let's see. All I want to is invest. All I want to invest. What stock? Come through. We'll teach you all about that. I'm truly information to join. Oh, thank you. How much is the class? The class is $149. One payment, not no monthly stuff, one payment, and you get access to me, my husband, and my people who know all about money once a week, plus you get the course. And my course is not like a typical digital course. It's not a PowerPoint presentation that is broken up into 4 modules. There are actually 32 lessons. And it's very interactive. No, you don't have to apologize. The link, I'll put the link back up for my course. You go to crawlbeforeyouball.com. I was going to say also that because I know that some of us are crawling, I also made it available for a payment plan. So you can break up the $149 into 2 payments over 2 months because I estimate that's how long it's going to take most people to take the course. If you really take it. Oh, I know it's inexpensive. My hourly rate when I was working was $500 an hour. I know it's cheap. Plus you're getting access to me. and my husband and all my people that charge lots of money an hour. It's a bargain. But it was my hope and my prayer and my dream to be able to offer this information to the masses. So I think you're gonna get put in timeout, honey, because you keep talking about this crap. I'll come on through and join. What if your computer skills are so-so? Great question. You can do it on your phone. It's mobile friendly. And, you know, if some of the assignments are too difficult for you, one of my assistants, Liz, she answers all the questions at our community board emails. We figured out how to get folks assignments to us. You can send me a voice memo if you don't feel comfortable doing a video and you don't have we make it work for our students. Because we're vested in seeing you succeed. Nothing makes me happier than when my students come on Mondays and they share. We have a period of time where we share what's happened during the week. And they say, well, my niece asked me for some money this morning and I said no. And she wasn't mad at me and it was okay and she survived. And I cry every Monday, child, because y'all know I'm a cry baby. That's what they said. They was right about that. So I have empathy. All right, y'all. I thank y'all so much. This was fun. I think what I'll do is I will come on this week, probably at 10 a.m., 10:30-ish, something like that. And I'm going to, talk about a couple of the things in the media to begin with. And then I'm going to talk all things money and crawl before you ball and answer your financial questions and give you tips. And because this is what I like to do. And this is my way to mentor. Okay. So it's nothing wrong being crawling. Someone says she's embarrassed that at her age, she's still crawling. Honey, I have to check myself with my finances all the time. It doesn't matter how much money you have. We all have to go back and crawl. I'm actually crawling with my students right now and reworking my steps. Because when I went back and did my needs versus wants spreadsheet, which you'll see within the course, I was spending way too much money on DoorDash and damn Uber Eats. I had to delete them devils off my phone. We all have to crawl. And what my goal is to make crawling sexy again. All this fake Instagram rich crap, that should be what people shame about. You shouldn't be ashamed to say you're working toward a financial goal for your peace of mind and for your family. See, society, they got everything mixed up. That ain't nothing you should be ashamed about. That's something you should be proud of. You should be proud to say, I ain't going out to lunch with y'all today. I brought my brown bag. I'm crawling right now. Blame me. Say, Buffy said I can't do it. Do that. Okay. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope you take the class because then I'll get to see you and we're learning each other in the class on every Monday. I call people out. You know, I'm that teacher. I call you out if you're too quiet. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all. I wish you a great day and thank you for your time. And I will be back because this was actually quite fun for me. So
please crawl before you ball and then take a little bit of the money and save
Crawl
it and then
before
do
you
something
ball, because wealth whispers and money jingle jangles and screams.
fun.